We are thrilled to have Mr. Harshit Kiran join us as our webinar speaker. Mr. Harshit Kiran is Chief Operating Officer at MyLawn and member of Executive Council of AGISS Research Institute and a law student from Maharishi University of Information Technology, Noida. In his short span, he has to his credit Excellence Award 2019 and Law Student Active on Social Media 2020 Award, various publications in renowned journals, and has contributed chapters in various books. He is also an editor of My Lawn Yearbook and a member of editorial board of Maharishi Journal of Law and Society, My Lawn Social Legal Review, convener of Moot Court Society, Academic and Internship Society, Legal Aid Cell and Literary Society of Maharishi Law School, Noida. He is also a student member of American Bar Association and has been invited for several talk shows as a professional and has been actively participating in numerous conferences, seminars, webinars, workshops as a guest speaker. Apart from this, he is also the author of a book titled Legal Research and Methodology, published by My Lawn Academic Publication. Now, without further ado, I'd like to turn the session over to Sir. Sir, I hand it on to you.
Thank you so much for such a warm welcome and warm introduction about me. And I would also like to thank Sai Vikrant and JLSR team that they invited me for the webinar on such a great topic, that is legal research and methodology. As we all know, research is something which is not only important for a law student, but also important for all the students who are related to the field and related to education system. Because research is about something where we find out the unknown facts from a known thing. So it is really important for all the facets and all the persons related to academics and other fields. So today we are going to have a session on the legal research and methodology, where I will be focusing mainly upon the legal part and the importance of legal research and the research portion, that how it can be done and what are the methods which we can focus on and what are the stages we can have in while doing a research and how can we prepare a good research paper. So not moving further with the other things, let's start the session. And before starting the session, I would request all the participants to kindly drop their queries in the chat box. And at the end of the session, we will be having a question and answer round, where your questions will be taken up by me and will definitely answer all the questions which has been mentioned. So let's start today's session, and with a hope that after the session, you all will be benefited from today's webinar and you will have a good knowledge about the legal research and methodologies, and which will surely help you in preparing a good research paper and getting it published in a renowned journal and elsewhere. So let's start today's session. I will share the screen with you all. So kindly wait for a minute. Let me share the screen. So is my screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as I have been told by Sai from JLSR team, that today we are having maximum participants who are from first and second year of law, who are first and second year law students. So let's start with them, and focusing more onto law students, we have organized this session. And so it will be much more about research methodologies and guiding you all about the research methods and other things which are quite important for a research paper and writing a manuscript. So moving further, in today's session, we will be dealing with what is research, types of research, legal research, what is legal research, and some points which you have to keep in mind while doing the legal research. What are the stages involved, sources, because the main question which arises in our mind while we are doing the research is that what can be the sources from where we can have a good research of the things, from where we can have a good knowledge about the things or the topic on which we are writing. So we will be also dealing with the sources of information, and along with that, I will also give you some practical aspect that if you are using internet sources for the things for research work, then how can you can you do a better research using the internet sources, and how can you find out that which all sources are reliable sources. Then we will be dealing with a short format of research paper, although there is no any such described format, but still there is something which we have to keep in mind while making a research paper, and there is a pattern which we have to follow. Apart from this, some short tips and tricks I will be giving, which I have I have acknowledged and I have seen while doing my research work during my college time, and a brief about today's session. So I would like to start with a question that with all the participants, I want to make it more of an interactive session rather than having it to be a session where I am speaking and the participants are listening. So instead of that, I would be interacting with you all. So kindly if I'm asking any question, kindly drop the answer in the chat box, and I will be reading from there, or the moderator can help me out by reading the answer. The first question is that we all have been connected here for the purpose of knowing about research. So what do you all know about research? What you all understand that what research is? Yes, anyone from the participants can drop the message in the chat box. Okay, so Ashwath is telling to know more and more about a particular topic. Good. Akhil Ranjan Pathak is saying knowing about something. Ria, search again, research. Okay. Fareen is telling to search something more which is already searched, basically to add something new. Great. Riyaraj collecting in depth knowledge about the topic. Okay. So you all are answering, and the answer is correct, but there is some difference in it. See, so let's move further with the topic. So research is to search for new facts. So first of all, we will see what we are moving into the theoretical part of research. So first of all, we will see what different authors have told about research and what dictionaries have defined it. So it is to search for new facts in any branch of knowledge. Any branch of knowledge means research is not only about law. It is also about other branches and other fields. So since it is not only about law, so here it is telling that if we search any new facts, means the fact is already known to us. For example, you are a law student. So let's take a common example. We all know ADR stands for Alternative Dispute Resolution. Okay. So if ADR stands for Alternative Dispute Resolution and you're writing the same in the paper, then what is the difference between the person who first wrote that ADR means Alternative Dispute Resolution and what you have written? Because this can't be changed. So you already know that yes, Alternative Dispute Resolution, ADR means Alternative Dispute Resolution. And you also know that ADR is a mechanism which is used for the purpose of solving the dispute in a less time and is a much easier thing. It's a much easier process to follow. But what is the difference between research and what you are writing and what you already know? So we will find out some new facts out of it. So it is just an example for the beginning purpose to make you understand. So don't go deep into it. So you already know, you have the knowledge of that branch, you have the knowledge of that thing. And now you are searching for some new facts, that what are the new evolutions or what are the new things which are coming into that system. Okay, as defined by Advanced Learners Dictionary of Current English. Redman and Mori has defined it as a systemized effort to gain new knowledge. Means further in our process of dealing and further in this webinar, we will be dealing about the systematic way or a system or a stages in which we can do a better research. So it is Redman and Mori is telling that yes, it is a systemized effort. Means you do the effort in a systematic way so that you can find out something new out of a known thing. It, as defined by Webster's International Dictionary, it is careful, critical inquiry or explanation in seeking facts or principles in order to ascertain something. You have some topic, you have something, you want to ascertain something, and you are doing something, you're finding out, you are going deep into the things so that you can find out the loopholes or you can find out the other things which are still left to be evolved from it. Okay. And D. Silsinger and M. Stephenson defined it as a systematic investigation towards increasing the sum of knowledge. So it is basically, he is defining research from the point of view of the purpose. Like when you do a systematic investigation, it will increase your knowledge about the topic. So we are doing, so it is an investigation, it is a research, it is where we search deep into the topics. Why? To increase our knowledge about that topic. So overall, what we can say is research is a process where we already know the fact, but we try to find out something new from the already known facts. Like we have taken example of ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. तो हमें मालूम है कि ADR का मतलब Alternative Dispute Resolution है, बट अगर हम यही चीज पेपर में लिखेंगे तो ये तो सबको मालूम है. Then what is the research in it? So if you write evolution of alternative dispute resolution, comparative analysis of alternative dispute resolution, you are focusing on a specific portion. And when you are focusing on a specific portion, it is known as research, that because you will try to find out the known facts from the already known. You know ADR is alternative dispute resolution, but now you are trying to compare it with the countries in the comparative analysis so that you can find out something new about the concept. Okay, so basically research is finding out something new from an already known fact. I think this is clear to the students or the participants who are here. If you have any query, kindly drop it in the chat box and we will take it right now related to the topic, and further queries will be taken in the end of the session. Okay. So moving further, we will, although it is not so much important that what are the types of research, but since we are dealing with research part, so you all should know that yes, in what are the types of research and what are the ways a research can be done. So it is basically of the given types, that is descriptive, analytical, applied, fundamental, quantitative, qualitative, conceptual, and empirical. So just leave it. It is about the common sense. Just read the word descriptive. What do you understand from the word descriptive? Descriptive in general means describing something and which has been described in a much better way. So these are basically reports that just what has happened, what has occurred, or what is going on, which means you are knowing that so and so thing is going on, and you are writing a descriptive report. You are analyzing the facts which are going on. You are analyzing the things which are going on. You are analyzing the events which are going on, and you are writing a brief and a descriptive report about it. So this is what we do in descriptive research. What we do is we analyze some event, some situations which is going on, and we describe it in our paper in the form of an article, in form of a manuscript. That is known as descriptive research. For example, if we look into the recent times, Russia-Ukraine war was going on. Sorry. So there, if you are following the event of Russia-Ukraine war and you are writing a research paper related to it, then it is covered under descriptive research. Why? Because you are analyzing some event which is going on and you are writing something related to that, your analytical things, what you have analyzed, your own point of view about it. So that is descriptive research. Describing what is going on is descriptive research. Okay. Moving further, analytical research. Analytical research is analyzing something on the basis of data which is already available. For example, some data related to crime is available, and you are analyzing the data and you are preparing a brief about it. You are preparing a descriptive report about it. So this is analytical research. So analytical research is analyzing the data which is available and preparing our own concept about it and writing and presenting it in the form of a research. How can you do analytical research? It can be done by field work. It can be done by interviews. It can be done by finding out the already given data. Like, for example, if you all would have done research on a much larger basis, you would have visited the website of WHO for something which is related to health. You would have visited the website of NCRB for crime for crime reports and other such websites. So when you visit there, you get a data which has been given by the respective government, which has been given by the respective organizations dealing in the field, and you analyze those data and you present your own thinking, your own point of view on it in a descriptive manner, so as to describe it, that what is going on and how it can be improved, or any such things which is related. So that is analytical research, where you analyze the already available data and present your opinion in the form of a research with the help of those data. Okay. Further moving, it is applied research. What is applied research? Tracking down an answer for a quick issue. You just got an issue that whether Article 21 is violated or not in so and so situation. For example, you got an issue that yes, this is the issue, that whether Article 21 of our Constitution has been violated in so and so situation or not. You got an issue. You just you are tracking down the situation according to the issue, according to the area, according to the different fields which is provided there, situation which is giving. You are analyzing it, you are studying about it, you are going deep into it, and you are creating your own point of view, and you are presenting that in the form of a manuscript. So what you are doing, you are stuck to an issue and you are finding out the answer to that issue, and you are tracking down the situations by which you can prove that yes, this thing has happened or this thing has not happened. This claim is correct or this claim is not correct. That is covered under applied research. Further, there is fundamental research, that is curiosity and the desire to expand knowledge in a specific research area. For example, you want to research in competition. You have the curiosity, you have the desire to expand your knowledge. You are interested in competition, and there is nothing such much more about competition. For example, there is nothing much more available about competition, and you are finding out different things, different places from where you can gain knowledge about competition law. You can gain much better exposure about competition law or any other laws in which you are having interest. So that is fundamental research, where you have the curiosity, where you have the desire to expand your knowledge, and that knowledge not only about overall knowledge, but it is related to the specific area. For example, we know that some persons are known as IPR expert, some persons are known as competition law expert. Why? Because they have a expanded knowledge, they have much more knowledge about the field. How? By researching. So when they got into it and when they researched into a specific area to expand their knowledge about the area, it is fundamental research. Okay. Moving further, quantitative research. Quantitative research, as the word is defined, it is related to the quantity. So it is basically peculiarly in nature. And in this, we examine the quantitative properties of a interconnection. For example, we are analyzing the quantitative. We can say that, let's suppose we are writing something about Sale of Goods Act, and there we analyze the data of Sale of Goods Act and compare it with the data with our law or any other such topic. For example, we can go into the account section. If we are writing anything about the related to the accounts field, we will analyze the data, we will present the data, we will analyze it, we will present it in the form of manuscript. So that is what is covered in the quantitative research. Although quantitative research is also there in the law field, but its area is quite less as compared to other research like descriptive, analytical, applied, fundamental, and other such. Now moving further, there is qualitative research. What is qualitative research? It is subjective. It is basically related to subject matter. It is related to the quality and the kind of material you are providing with, we can say in a way, but it is much more related to the other fields, where we look more about the quality and we compare the quality of different items. For example, आप phone खरीदने जाते हैं, you go to purchase a phone, you compare, there also you do research. How? आप सीधे तो नहीं जाते हो कि भैया मुझे ये फोन पसंद आ गया दे दो, नहीं, आप पहले फोन लेते हो, आप फोन को कंपेयर करते हो कि हाँ, this is iPhone 5, this is 6, this is 7 और this is 11, which phone is much better और किसका दाम ये है. तो आप डिफरेंट एरियाज डिफाइन करते हो. पहला एरिया होता है क्वालिटी, दूसरा एरिया होता है कि आपका बजट क्या है, और अब बजट के अकॉर्डिंग आप अपने क्वालिटी को सर्च करते हो. तो आप जो क्वालिटी वहां पे देखते हो, द क्वालिटी विच यू लुक इनटू द मटेरियल, that is what is known as qualitative research. So while even purchasing something, you are doing research. How? Because when you go to purchase a cloth, when you go to purchase something to wear, you look into the quality of the dress which you are purchasing, material, fabric which has been used, You want the best quality of fabric to be there. When you go to purchase phone or laptop, you go for a specific brand because you have trust on that brand that yes, this will provide us the quality. So you don't go for any other brand. You look for the quality. You look for the quality when you want that yes, there should be 6 GB RAM and 128 GB memory. So you look for the quality. The phone should be OnePlus if it is Android. This is quality. You are looking for the quality. So even if when you go to purchase even flour for home, so आप आटा खरीदने जाते हो तो भी आप देखते हो कि आटा मोटा है, पतला है, आपको किस तरीके का चाहिए, आप आशीर्वाद का आटा लोगे कि आप लोकल आटा लोगे, ठीक है। तो वो भी क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च, क्यों? क्योंकि आप क्वालिटी के बेसिस पे विच इज द बेस्ट क्वालिटी, which brand is giving us the best quality, where we are getting the best thing, you go there for the purpose of purchasing that thing. So this is qualitative, where you compare the quality, you present it and take a decision that yes, we have to do this thing or further we can do it in such a way. आप लॉ स्कूल, आपने स्कूल्स में एडमिशन लिया, आपने 5 स्कूल घूमा, आपको जो स्कूल की क्वालिटी अच्छी लगी, जहाँ की एजुकेशन सिस्टम आपको पसंद आया, आप उस स्कूल में एडमिशन लिए, ये भी क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च है, आपने क्वालिटी को सर्च किया। मूविंग फर्दर, conceptual and empirical research. Conceptual is, as it is clear from the word, concept related. It is related to the concept. You are working on the concept of any topic and you are clearing the concept of that topic. For example, you are writing about human rights. You are going deep into the meaning of human rights. You are going, like you are writing an overview of human rights in India. You are going deep into the concept of human rights which is dealt in India, and you are working on it and you're presenting new ideas related to it, because it is also told in our schools and colleges that if your concepts are clear, you can present the things in a much better way. So in this research, you are trying to clear your concept, you're trying to know more and go deep into the concepts of the topic and clear it. Now, empirical research get realities at their source. In empirical research, you don't work on the theories, you don't work on the other thing, rather you work on clearing your uh, source. Rather, source is not the correct word. You work on clearing what we can say, clearing the concept. Conceptual and empirical are written together. When you will read it in any of the books, it is written conceptual and empirical research. So these two words are interrelated, and when you are doing research, so empirical research is to work on the realities, and conceptual is you are clearing your concept. Okay, I think I am clear till now. Any queries? So you see, if we are clear with the basic portion that what research is, then only we can go further for legal research. So our next topic is legal research. So before that, I want that whatever we have dealt now must be clear to you all, so that you can have a better knowledge about legal research which is related to us. So I'm presuming that the things are what I have shared with you all is clear to you all. Yes. Okay. Okay. So moving further with the topic, which is much more important for us, it is legal research. So what we know that what is research? Research is what research is? So research is finding out a known thing, a known fact from an already known fact. So now comparing it with the term legal. Okay. So legal is the term which is used for law. So when we examine something which is related to the information, and that information is related to law, our legal system. Okay, so it is known as legal research. So basically we are finding out the unknown facts from the known fact in a specific area. That area is law, which you all are studying, and that research, the research which we do in the area of law to find out an unknown fact from an already known fact is known as legal research. क्या मतलब हुआ? मतलब ये कि जब हम रिसर्च करते हैं, हम जब कोई भी अननोन फैक्ट को फाइंड आउट करते हैं एक ऑलरेडी नोन फैक्ट में से, किस फील्ड में, वो लॉ के फील्ड से रिलेटेड है, जिसमें हम लॉ से रिलेटेड सारे इंफॉर्मेशन को असेंबल करते हैं, उसको एनालाइज करते हैं, उसको स्टडी करते हैं, अपने पॉइंट्स ऑफ व्यू प्रेजेंट करते हैं, तो उसको हम लोग लीगल रिसर्च बोलते हैं। मतलब लीगल रिसर्च इज नथिंग डिफरेंट, बट only it describes the area of research that the research must be related to the area, and that area is law. Okay, so you are doing all what you will do in the research, what we have already dealt in the topic of research. But what happens here is you will do it specifically in the area of law. You will not go outside the area of law. Now the question is, uh, who all are the persons by whom legal research is done? Any ideas by the participants? Kindly drop in the chat box. Okay, participants, kindly drop your answer. What do you think? Legal research is done by whom? Okay, Manika Gupta is saying paralegals. Okay, anyone else? Research assistant. Priya Raj is saying research assistant. Risha is saying legal researchers. Okay, I am repeating the question. Can you all let me know that who all are the persons who do legal research? I think one has replied law students, and almost everyone does. Priya Raj is telling, and Akhil has told law student lawyers. Okay, Pareen is telling academicians. Okay, so moving further, it is not only done by academicians, law students. Rather, the answer of Priya is correct. It is done by everyone who is in the legal field, which Priya has just now told us that yes, legal research is done by all the respective persons who are present in the legal field or are in any way related to our fraternity, that is legal fraternity. And who all are related to our legal fraternity? Then they are legislator, judge, lawyer, law faculties, students of law, and any other such persons related to law. So we will focus basically on these five persons who are related to the field of law and about whom we all know. And other persons also do the research. For example, in other person, our client who is coming to us for any case or any dispute, that person also does the research that which law is applicable, what punishment we will get, how can we protect ourselves from the punishment, etc., etc. Okay, so starting with the legislator. Who are the legislator? Participants. Tell me, who are the legislators? Those who lay down laws. Okay. Anyone else? Who makes law time to time? Okay. So legislators are the person is one of the organ of the government. Fareen Alfi is telling. So see, you all are correct that legislators are the persons who uh, form laws and who make laws from time to time in a general way. We can say that yes, uh, they are the legislators. Okay. So, so first option is by legal researcher. Sorry, by legislators. Why legislator? Any idea why legislators have to do the legal research work? See, we are here for learning something new. So if we all are interacting, it would be much better for us because you all will also learn and we will also get to know about your concept. So kindly revert in the chat box as much as you can, and I will keep asking the questions for your to check your concentration about the same because you are here to learn. So you should learn. So let me know why legislators have to do legal research work. What do you think? So that Pratibha is telling so that they can figure out the loopholes in previous law and amend them. Very good. Because they have to make law, they need to research on that topic. Ria is telling good. Priya is telling to understand the contemporary issues and to find out the solution accordingly. Good. See, legislators are the person who make laws. So if you are making a laws, it is a huge duty on you that the law should be something which should not violate the basic structure of our constitution. And apart from that, that law should give you the justice. Should be the main purpose of the law should be to provide justice equity to the society and to maintain a good environment in the society. So for that purpose, the legislators have to do a research work, and with that research, they decide that yes, which law should be amended, which law should be changed, what new law should come in our society, which could govern the present situation or the present problems or the new problems which are coming, which are generating in our society. Okay, so this is why our law is also known as to be dynamic in nature. Why? Because it keeps on changing with time to time. As and when required, a new law is made. As and when required, the laws get amended. Why? So because our society is changing with time, and since our society is changing with time, so new situations, new problems will arise, and every problem has a different solution. For that solution, laws are amended and new laws are even imposed from time to time. So coming to back to the point, legislator do the legal research work. Why? Because they have a responsibility to make and amend laws, and so that they can have a good knowledge of the society, that what is happening and what laws can be better for the society. And so they do legal research before imposing or before amending any law. So now my second question is, a judge also do a legal research. Why a judge need to do a legal research? Anyone, please answer in the chat box. Because of the interpreting law, okay, to give a proper judgment. Good, yeah. Because he has to interpret the law in right manner. Okay. Okay, to stay updated with the current laws and to give coherent judgment. See, you all are correct as per your understanding. So let me proceed further. By a judge, judge is a person who has been given an authority. What authority? He is appointed authority to mediate, in a way we can say to mediate and to maintain justice, equity, and good conscience in the society, and to maintain the and to uh, and to make sure that the laws are followed and the person who are violating the laws and are disturbing our environment should be punished. Why? To maintain a good and healthy and happy society. Okay, so judge has a much more work to do. When a case is given to judge, so he has to research on the case. You know, precedents are given by the honorable judges. So when the judges also need to do the legal research so that they can have a better understanding about the case, so that they can have a better understanding about the facts, about the laws which are related to the case, and many other such things. And with the aim, what are their main aim? That is to provide justice to the person who has knocked the door of the court, with a hope that the justice will be given to him, will be provided to him by the honorable judges. So they have to research it so that the burden which they have on their shoulders to provide justice and equity should be fulfilled, must be fulfilled. So, with the aim to provide justice, they analyze the situation, they do research on the things, on the cases which come, so that they can understand every facet of the case and they can give the best judgment to maintain the justice and equity in the society, which they can do, okay, or which they can give. And this can only be done once they have a good knowledge and once they know each and every facet of the law and every facet which is directly or indirectly related with the cases. So judges also have a liability on them, and to fulfill that liability and to deliver their main aim for which they are being appointed, that is to deliver justice and equity in the society, they do legal research so that they can understand each and every facet of the law and of the fact which is related to the respective case. Now, by a lawyer, this everyone should know why it is done by a lawyer. Find the provisions of the law in their favor to find related authorities to be cited in the court of law. Good. Okay. So it is done by a lawyer. See, lawyer are the officers of the court. Lawyers have a much more important duty and uh, much more important duties to fulfill. See, because a lawyer is the person who fights the case, who fights for the justice of some other person. So, and if a lawyer presents a case in a much better way, he can win the case and he can be the person who has worked to provide justice. But his one single mistake can uh, make him lose the case and the justice will not prevail there. Okay. So a lawyer do the legal research work to understand the facets which are related to the case, to understand what laws are applicable, to understand what all provisions are applicable, what he can do, what precedents are there, and many more such things with the aim that if he is fighting the case, then he can provide justice and equity to his respective client, because he is the officer of the court and his duty is to maintain justice and to make the society a happy society for all. So with the aim to provide justice to his client, the person who is representing some other person. Why? He is just fighting on his behalf for to maintain his justice, to provide him with justice. So he have to do the legal research so that he can provide the respective person, respective individual with the justice for which he has been appointed by the respective individual to fight in the court of law. Okay. Now by law faculty and law students. So you all are law students. Tell me why you all need to have legal research. Why you think that you should do legal research. Teach or learn the laws deeper and also the origin of different case laws along with the objective of implementation. Priya. Better understanding of law with latest facts. Good. See, as a law faculty is someone who teaches you law. He is having a great liability. You all know. Teacher is someone who teaches us, who is also responsible. After parents, we take the name of our teachers. They guide us for a better future. They guide us for the field in which we want to go. So what is their role? They need to stay updated with the facts which is related to their subject, with the amendments which is being happening in their topics. They need to be updated with each and everything which is related to their subject so that they can provide you all with the better knowledge of law. So that when you stand in a society, you can confidently fight for the justice. You can confidently fight in a case. Okay. So sorry. So it is done by a law faculty and law students. We are law students. We start reading law. We have start learning laws. So when you start learning laws, you should know each and everything about the specific law. Why? Because you are the person who are the future lawyers. You have to fight in the court of law for the justice of the other individuals. Even sometimes it might happen you have to fight for your own justice, gain justice for your own self. So it is done by law students and law faculty to stay updated about the law, to stay updated about the different amendments happening, and to stay updated and to build a clear concept and a deeper knowledge about the topics which is related to your field and the topics in which you are interested. So that in future, if you stand somewhere, you stand with confidence that yes, you know about this topic in which you are really interested about. Okay, so it is done by a lawyer or by a law student or a law faculty. Why? To have a deeper knowledge about the subject, to have a deeper knowledge and a clear concept about the subject, and to have a clear knowledge about the recent amendments and the laws because you have to fight in the future for the justice of other person, other individuals. Now moving further, it is even done by clients and other persons. So clients, when he visits to a lawyer, yes. So when you are a client, when you are going to a lawyer, when you are going in the court of law to ask for justice, you should at least have a clear knowledge of the rights you have. At least you should know that what are your fundamental rights and what is legal and what is illegal. Because, okay, I leave this question to you all. Why an individual should have the knowledge of basic knowledge of law? There is a maxim, legal maxim related to it, and there is a good sentence told, which means that I know it, but I will leave it to you. So kindly drop it in the chat box and we will discuss about it in the last. Okay. No, Priya, to know about our rights is good, but also because as an individual, we should also know that ignorance of law is not acceptable. When you are in the society, you should know that where you are standing, what are the laws, and ignorance of law is not accepted in the court of law. If you are ignoring the law, then you have to you have to wait for the things. So ignorance of law is not accepted in the court of law, and ignorance of law is not a valid reason. Okay. Now, moving further, clients and other persons, where they are included, when they are indulged in any situation where they have to move to the court for the access of their justice. So when they move to the court of law, they also do a research that yes, what laws can be implemented, how a lawyer should work, what will happen next, how the notice will be served, now what will happen next. So in a way, client and other persons and even all the persons who are directly, indirectly, as a person who is related to legal fraternity or a person who is supporting like our clients and individuals, they also do legal research. But the difference is that by the persons of the legal fraternity, it is done in a deep way with the full support, full in a deep way to have a good knowledge about it. But by clients, it is done only to know about the problems and the situations in which they are stuck. So research is done by all, and all those who have written that yes, research is legal research is done by all have written it correct. Okay, moving further. Now, this is the main thing which is quite important for all of you, and that is points to keep in mind while doing legal research. What are the points you should keep in mind when you are doing a legal research? Okay, so the points are first, ascertainment of law. When you are doing a legal research, the first thing you should have in mind is that you should ascertain the law which is related to your topic. Okay, so ascertainment of law, that which law or in which area of law you have to research. Second is highlighting inbuilt gaps and ambiguities. You have to highlight the inbuilt gaps and ambiguities, because what is law and what is written there in the law, that is that everyone can read in the Bare Act or in the books which are available in the market. But why one should read your research paper? Why one should read what you have written? So when you will highlight the gaps, you will highlight the ambiguities in that law, and you will not only highlight it, but you will also give a solution to it. Then that will something which will make your research different. You can even determine the consistency, coherence, and stability of law. That yes, what are the things which are still stable and which is going on from a long time. Okay. You should do the audit of law. Audit of law means the social implementation of law, social implications of law, and what really the law, whether that law is really acting in the society, if that law is really working in the society or not. That also you can research on it and you can put it there. And not only this, you should also suggest the reforms in law. Suggest means it is not always that what you are suggesting will be taken into consideration. But if you are finding out any loopholes in the law, when you are finding out any gaps in the law, you must give your own suggestions that yes, as an individual, as a public, as a citizen of this country, what reforms should be there? What are your suggestions? What are you thinking about it? These were some things, something which are related to the law students, which law students understood. But there are some basic things which we should keep in mind, because when we are writing a research paper, it's not only about the knowledge of law. It's not only about the ambiguities of law, but it is how you are representing the paper in the front of other person. See, one thing always keep in mind, if I am reading something written by you, I would, or any other person, I would like to prefer that thing in which I can easily relate that thing with me. And secondly, I can easily understand what is written. So always keep in mind that what you are writing should be written with the aim that if any person is reading, that person should know. Because if we are lawyers, we can understand the legal terms. But if we are not a lawyer, as an individual, you are related to some other field, you can't understand the term. Okay, so always keep in mind that you are writing so that another person can read it, other person can understand it. So always write in such a way that it is understood by all the persons, all the individuals who are reading it. And some basic things which you should keep in mind while writing a research paper is words. What type of words you are using? Words should not be so much of high standard that apart from a law field or the persons who are related to legal fraternity, no one else can understand, because you don't know that who all persons are going to read what you have written. So words, use good words, use some standard words, but not so much high quality words that other person is unable to understand even the meaning of it. Okay. Second is spelling. Usually it happens that when you are writing a research paper or you are doing a legal research, you sometimes in while typing there are some typo errors. You would also have found out about it in different journals or books if you have gone through it. Although everything is correct, but if you find out a typo error, that is a big thing, because you have find out a mistake which usually a person who is doing a research should not do. So kindly keep in mind, do try to minimize that spelling mistakes and try that spelling should be correct. Okay, grammar is the main thing. You all know that when you are writing in English language, grammar should be correct, because if the grammar is not correct, it will change the meaning of the sentence. So kindly keep in mind that while you are writing your research paper, the grammar should be correct. And before submitting the research paper or before submitting the legal research which you have done, kindly check for the grammar portion. Then punctuations. Kindly give punctuation mark wherever it is necessary. Okay, keep that in mind. Language and sentence. Language. Use language in such a way that it is understood by all of the person who are reading it, even they are related to legal fraternity or not. Sentence. The framing of sentence should be correct. The sentence should give the same knowledge which you want to deliver. It must not happen that you want to deliver something else, and when the other person is reading the your research, they understand something different. So the word should be correctly used, spelling should be correct, grammar should be correct, punctuation marks should be at correct places, language should be correct, and language should not be something which would harm or may harm someone else, but it should be in such a way that yes, the readers or the person who is reading it should be interested and should be more and more interested to read what you have written. Okay, moving further, stages in legal research. What are the stages? I hope I am clear till points to keep in mind while doing a legal research. Any query till there, or am I clear? I should move further. Participants, kindly drop your message. Is it clear? Should I move further? Okay. Yes, sir. Manika Gupta. Anyone else? Okay, great. Stages in legal research. So, as a student, when you start doing your legal research, the first question usually pop up in the mind is that yes, how should I do it? I can you usually we get confused that yes, either I should read from books, I should go to some other websites. Okay, if I am reading from multiple places, then how should I start writing it? The main question which arises in our mind is of what should be the topic, how we should research, what we can write, etc., etc. So here are the stages which you can follow, although it is not limited to only these things. But yes, these are the steps which I have followed and which I have seen that yes, it is usually helpful from my practical experience. Okay, so first is identification and formulation of a research problem. See, first you should know what your topic is. Okay, and when you know that what your topic is, what your problem is, then only you can form a research problem. And once a research problem is solved, see, if I simply say that to X person, do a legal research, law field is so much vast that we don't know. That person will get confused what to do, what what to do in legal research. But if I say do legal research on the given topic, that is comparative analysis of India and UK with respect to, let's suppose, human rights. Okay, or compare the laws which has been violated in Russia-Ukraine war. A research problem is created. Okay, you have identified what you have to research, what you have to find out. Okay, so when you have identified what you have to find out, you can easily move further. So first step for legal research should be identification and formulation of a research problem. First of all, you should create a problem that yes, on this topic I have to research and I have to work on this topic. Once the topic is clear, then only you can move. Okay. Second is review of literature. Review of literature here is very important. Why? When you have formed a respective topic, respective problem, you should also understand about. Okay. You should also understand the concept related to the legal research or the respective problem which you are dealing with. So how can you understand it? We don't know what are the respective places where we should refer. So the best thing is we should refer to the literature which is referred by many persons from ancient times, from the time when the law has started. Okay, from many other researchers. So start reading the literature, start reviewing the literature portion. Literature means you can read with books, the books which are reliable. Okay, the books are suggested by your colleges that insists in this subject, read this book. Why it is suggested? Because as per your faculty, they know that yes, this book is the best book from which students can understand it. So they refer you with that book. So you have to read that book, you have to review the literature, you have to create a mindset, you have to create your own idea, your own thinking process should go in your mind and should create a new thing. Your mind should work in a creative manner and should create a hypothesis, should create a new idea that yes, this thing is already there, but this thing can also happen. This thing is already there, but this part is missing. Okay, so review of literature is important. You should read the literature portion. You should understand what the law is, what problem you have identified, from which law it is related, and how it can be improved. What our legal researchers are telling, what our precedents are there. So you should understand it all. What jurists have told about it, etc., etc. Now, formulation of hypothesis. See, formulation of hypothesis can be done in two ways. First of all, you can make pointers that what all you want to mention in your research paper, what all you want to research for while you are doing this research. And second is you can form your own idea about it, that yes, how we should proceed further, what all we should write, what all we should type, and many other such things. So formulation of hypothesis should be as per your understanding of the law, and you can do the formulation only when you will review the literature, you will understand the concept which is given in the law. Then is research design. You have to define a design for your research paper. You want to make it, see, research papers are of 2 to 3 types. In some research paper you will find out that chapterization is there. In some research paper you will find out that continuance is there. So you have to create a research design. Research design is you want to go with chapterization or you want to go directly in the flow. Now the thing is, if you are going directly in the flow, you should check the synchronization of the various topics. Like you are writing introduction and you're directly moving to the types of this, then it is not correct. You should it might be correct for that given topic. So you should have to look into the synchronization. सिंक्रोनाइजेशन मींस कि आपको ये देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या हम इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद जो टॉपिक दे रहे हैं और उस टॉपिक के बाद जो हमने अगला हेडिंग दिया है, क्या वो हेडिंग सही है, क्या वो हेडिंग इंटर रिलेटेड है. जब हम उस हेडिंग को रीड करेंगे, जब हम इस आर्टिकल को रीड करेंगे, तो हमें वो हेडिंग बिल्कुल सही लगेगा उसके बाद, कि हमें ऑकवर्ड लगेगा कि अरे ये कहाँ से आ गया। तो आपको एक रिसर्च डिजाइन क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा कि आप किस मेथड में, किस वे में आप आगे मूव करना चाहते हैं, और किस वे में आप चीजों को आगे प्रोसीड करना चाहते हैं। फिर आता है कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा। मैं आपको जब सोर्सेज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन में जाऊंगा, मैं आपको कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा का कुछ लाइव एग्जांपल दूंगा स्क्रीन शेयर करके, ठीक है। तो कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा इज कि जब फॉर एग्जांपल आपने बहुत सारे, अगर आपने रिसर्च पेपर देखे होंगे, आपने रिसर्च पेपर स्टडी किया होगा, तो कुछ टॉपिक्स, लेट सपोज हम लिख रहे हैं वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन, वी आर राइटिंग अबाउट, आई एम टेलिंग दैट व्हेन यू कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा इज समथिंग you should collect, like if you would have read some of the research papers, you would have find out that there are some data which are presented, like if you are writing on the topic violence against women, there must be a data in that topic dealing about what are the crimes which has happened and which or what crime has happened, for the purpose of suggesting measures, and not even for the purpose of suggesting measures, but also to support your answer, what also to support what you have written there, that yes, this thing is happening. So collection of data is important. So you should collect data, but data should not be from any random website or from any random places. It should be from a certified places. Like if it is related to health, WHO is there. It is related to crime, NCRB is there. If it is related to violence against women, there is respective department of women from where you can find out the data, etc., etc. Now, analysis of data. It's not only about collecting and presenting the data. What you have analyzed from the data. If you're writing about violence against women, whether you have analyzed that it is reducing or it is increasing. If it is reducing, it is good. But how we can contribute to reduce it on a vast basis, on a larger basis. And if it is increasing, then also why it is increasing? What is the reason of it, of the same, of the increasing of the thing, of the increasing of violence? How we can prevent it? What all we can do? See, the society is made from all of us. When we all are there, then only the society is there. So, you should also analyze the data what is given. Apart from that, we should interpretation of data. See, you should interpret the data. That yes, the data, as per data, so and so thing has happened. But what is the interpretation? What we are interpreting from the data? If you are mentioning a data in the research paper, I should understand, no, for what reference you are mentioning that data, for what reference you have mentioned it. So you should interpret the data and you should interpret the relevance. You should state the relevance why you have used that data and what you are trying to interpret from that data. आपने उस डेटा को वहां पे लिखा, तो मैं एक रीडर की तरह कैसे समझूंगा कि आपने किस रेफरेंस में लिखा है उस डेटा को? तो आपको वहां पे ये भी क्लियर करना है कि इस डेटा से आप ये कंक्लूड किए हैं और आपने इस डेटा को इस रेफरेंस पर्पस के लिए यूज किया है, सो दैट कि मैं आपके थॉट प्रोसेस को समझ पाऊं जो आपने इस पेपर को लिखते टाइम किया, अपने माइंड में चलाया था। फिर आता है रिसर्च रिपोर्ट। आपको एक रिपोर्ट रेडी करना पड़ेगा कि हाँ, रिसर्च रिपोर्ट, आप उस रिपोर्ट को प्रिपेयर करेंगे कि हाँ, उस रिपोर्ट में क्या होना चाहिए, कैसे होना चाहिए, ठीक है। नाउ मूविंग फर्दर, दैट इज सोर्सेज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन। हाँ, नाउ द सोर्सेज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन इज, we usually refer to four sources of information. That is primary. Primary means we study the public journal, we study the acts, we study the state legislature, we study different rules and guidelines which is passed by the honorable legislature or high courts, supreme courts, etc. तो प्राइमरी सोर्स हमारा क्या हुआ? वो चीजें जो पब्लिक में अवेलेबल हैं, वो चीजें जो लेजिस्लेचर और जुडिशरी ने हमें दी हैं, जैसे हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हुआ, हमारे फेयर एक्ट्स हुए, हमारी डिक्रीज जो पास हुई पार्लियामेंट से, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, ठीक है, वो हमारा प्राइमरी में आया। सेकेंडरी में क्या आया हमारा? रिजोल्यूशंस, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट्स, कैटलॉग्स, वर्ड रेफरेंसेस, बुक्स, सर्वेज, एक्सेट्रा। मतलब जो सर्वे हुआ, जैसे हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि एनसीआरबी के वेबसाइट पे जाके हम डेटा निकालेंगे, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, ये सब हुआ हमारा सेकेंडरी में। फिर आता है टर्शियरी। कुछ इनकॉर्पोरेटेड इंडेक्सेस होते हैं, एड्स होते हैं, कुछ एसोसिएशंस होते हैं जो काम करते हैं, उनका रिकॉर्ड्स होता है। एंड फोर्थ इज ई सोर्सेज, जो कि बहुत इजी सोर्स है, दैट इज गूगल। ओके, तो मैं अब आपके साथ शेयर करता हूँ कि जब आप गूगल पे किसी चीज को सर्च करते हैं विद द एम ऑफ रिसर्च, तो आप उसको और बेहतर तरीके में कैसे कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। सो आई एम शेयरिंग द स्क्रीन विथ यू ऑन गूगल। ये बस 2 मिनट का और है। Okay, so my time is over, but I will take 10 to 15 more minutes to cover it up. Only 2 more slides are left, and then we will be dealing with the Q&A session. Okay. So anyone from the participants, kindly provide me with any of the topic you want to research for, so that I can show you how you can refer to the websites and other things. Give me any topic. Contract law. Okay. So see, what usually we do. Okay, we have got many topics, but I am taking the first one, that is contract law, or I should take it by myself. Let's suppose I am taking human rights. Okay. So usually what we do, we write human rights. Okay. We are getting around this much of results. See how much results are given. How you can know that what you want is whether it is there or not. So you should use the keywords. For example, we are writing human rights for disabled. So kindly mention the full details of the same, human rights for disabled. Okay. So now the result got decreased to this much number. Still we have a large number. Now let's suppose you want to find out the data of India. So usually what we write, disabled India, but we won't get. But if we use plus India, your result is reduced to 73,500. You are looking into it, 73,500. Before it was in lakhs and not millions. Now it is in thousands. So it is reduced, and now you will get only those portions and those papers, those articles which are related to human rights, which you are dealing, which is related to India. For example, give me any state. Let's suppose we take Bihar. So we can write, if we write plus Bihar, see, it is only 85,700 result, and all the results are those which are related to Bihar. Okay, like government of Bihar, and all these reports are relevant report. NCBI, Times of India, NCBI, the National Trust, Government of India. Okay, now the same thing is minus Bihar. Sorry, it is minus Bihar. Then removing Bihar, all the other details will be here. Okay, so this is the thing usually we do mistake in. Now, if you want some PDF and articles related, write PDF. You will find out the format in which you want. If you want it in PPT format, PPTs are available here. Okay, so I'm not just showing it for the purpose of I am just showing it for the purpose of letting you know that how you can when you are using e-sources, you should first refer to the respective. You should first correctly mention what you want to search, what you want to research. Okay, if you are just writing human rights, you won't get what you want. But if you're writing it correctly, you're using the correct keywords, the Google will also find the relevant data. Apart from that, if you're finding about any state or any other thing, just mention there plus or minus, whether you want information of that state or not. So accordingly, when you are using correct keywords and in a correct manner, now if you want PDF file, kindly mention PDF, PPT, the format you want the file to be, mention the format and you will get it. See, you lively, now I have shared the screen, I have shown you. If you are not mentioning it in a correct way, then you are getting millions of data and millions of information. But when you mention it correctly, you get only 1,000. So it is reduced, and those thousands are related to some places or some such websites on which you can easily rely. Okay, like government websites and other such websites. Okay, so this is the thing. When you are searching with e-sources, kindly refer to reliable pages firstly, and secondly, kindly use, if you are using Google for search purpose, kindly use correct keywords in a correct way so that you can get a correct data. Okay, now moving further, that is format of a research paper. Usually a research paper is in the following format, that is abstract, content, and conclusion. Now abstract, what is abstract? Usually students get confused in writing abstract, because I have also met many of the students who usually ask me that, sir, if we are writing abstract, how we should write it. So there is a general pattern. I can't say that it is the only pattern available, But yes, most of the times you will find the same pattern. When you're writing abstract, it should be around 250 to 300 words. Okay. In 250 to 300 words, you can cover at least 2 to 3 paras. In 2 to 3 paras, give a brief intro about the topic you are dealing with in the first paragraph. Now, in the second paragraph, deal what all you have dealt in the paragraph, in the further paper. See, abstract is made before the compilation of full paper, but sometimes you would also find that a better abstract can be made after completing the full paper. Okay, but most of the times abstract is made before compiling and before compilation of the full paper, for showing that yes, what research method you will use and what all you are going to present in your paper. So in abstract, it is not the fixed format, but yes, it is the standard format which is used. Kindly in first paragraph give a brief intro about the uh, respective topic which you have selected. In the second paragraph, kindly deal with the topics which you will be dealing further in the research paper. If it is met before the compilation of research paper, it would be the tentative topics. If it is met after the compilation of research paper, it will be the topics which you have actually dealt in. And in third paragraph, kindly mention the research methodologies you have used for, and why you have, and what you want to conclude and what you want to present by this paper, from this paper. Kindly mention that in the last paragraph. Apart from that, kindly mention 3 to 4 keywords. I should not say kindly mention, I will say must mention 3 to 4 keywords. What are keywords? Keywords are the words which shows that what is the important things or important topics which you have covered in your paper. So must mention those keywords, those important words which will increase the value of your paper, and by reading which the readers can easily understand that what are the main things and main points which you have focused on. Now moving for contents and chapters, as I have already discussed, contents and chapters, if you are moving it in the contextual content way, like you are moving it in a paragraph way, the paragraphs must be interrelated. The topics or the subheadings which is there in the paper must be interrelated with thing, And when you are writing the content, it should start from introduction. See, usually a student gets confused between abstract and introduction. Abstract is not the introduction. In abstract, you are just mentioning that yes, this is the intro of the topic, and apart from this, we are going to deal this thing in the paper. So you are basically presenting the summary of your paper, summary of your 2 to 3,000 words, 2 to 10,000 words manuscript. You are presenting it there in your abstract. But when you are writing the introduction, you are introducing the paper, you are introducing the topic to the person. For example, if you're writing overview of human rights, you won't write all the introduction of human rights. You will just give a brief introduction about human rights, so that person could understand that what the topic will deal with in the full paper. And when you're writing it in the full paper, it would be of around 1 page introduction, where you will deal the intro part of the human rights in a detailed way. You will go in full depth. You will do a descriptive research on it. Okay. So the chapter will start from introduction and will end with conclusion, or we can say suggestion. Conclusion and suggestion, actually, or not, and suggestions. At the end, when you are analyzing anything, for example, if you are analyzing violence against women, and you are finding out that in some states these are violence is more and in some states it is less, so you should give your suggestion that as per the society, as per the situation of that state, this must be done or this should be done. Just give a suggestion, because you have analyzed the situation and then you have written the research paper. So you should suggest the on the points which you find out to be the loopholes of that state or the loopholes of that law. You should suggest. I would rather suggest you to give suggestions in the research paper, but it is totally upon you. So the paper will start with the intro part and will end with the conclusion and suggestion. Now in the middle portion, if you are writing the research paper in the form of chapters, so chapters should be synchronized properly. And if you're writing it in the form of a paragraph and further moving ahead with several subheadings, so the subheading should also be synchronized in a proper manner, then that when a reader is reading it, they should get it that yes, after this topic is correct. It should not come in their mind that the synchronization is not correct. Okay, now moving further, this is our last slide for today, that is tips and tricks for writing a research paper. Although all this we have already dealt in the previous slides, but still To keep things in mind, I will let you know that please get stuck to the point. If you're writing on human rights, please don't try to move here and there. Just get stuck to the point on which you are researching. Kindly mention major portion of the things related to the topic which you are dealing with. Secondly, sequence of the topic slash chapters. What I am already focusing on from the stages portion is that synchronization should be correct. If you are reading a book and after introduction part, you will get directly to, let's suppose, conclusion part. You will say, what is this? Ye kya hua? But if it is in a proper way, introduction, history, evolution, current situation, etc., etc., and then conclusion, you will say, yes, book is good. It has dealt with every aspect and in a clear way. So, what I want to say is, first impression is the last impression. First, the person will look into the index that yes, what all you have, what headings you have dealt with. So, the synchronization of the heading as well as the paragraphs. Synchronization means it should look that where you have left the previous line, the other line is directly related with it and is continue as in continuance of the same. Okay, matlab ki all both the lines are interrelated in a way or other. Okay, so there should be current sequence and synchronization of the topics and chapters. Conclusion should be good. Conclusion, please don't try to copy paste it from anywhere. Conclusion should be your own conclusion, what you have analyzed. Now some more thing which you should keep in mind while writing a research paper is, wherever you are submitting the research paper, kindly abide by the publication or the respective policy which is related to that research paper and is mentioned there. For example, plagiarism policy, it should not be more than 25%. Let me make you clear that if any person is thinking, or if any individual or student is thinking, which nowadays I have seen in many students that they think, is that I will simply paraphrase the previous paper and I will get it published. You will get it published, but we have Turnitin and other such plagiarism softwares which can easily trace even the paraphrased lines. And so kindly don't paraphrase the lines. It is easily traceable. Kindly study, review, make your own concept, build your own concept, and write that concept in the paper. Make it unique by yourself. Okay, kindly get abide by the plagiarism policy, and since it is legal research, so for it is, should not be like, for example, if XYZ has introduced something which is related to research and you are dealing about the XYZ company and it is not correct. Okay, you are a law student and you are doing legal research, so you can use that as an example, but you cannot write about it because it will look more of a other subject research rather than a law legal research. So kindly mention the knowledge of law and kindly stuck to the point and kindly focus more on the legal part rather than on any other, and give a good conclusion and along with your suggestions. Okay, so with this we have came to the end of the session, and now I am, and here is my email ID where you all can, if at any time you face any problem, kindly reach out to me on this email ID, that is harshit@mylawman.co.in, and I will share the PPT with the organizer so that they can share it with you when, so that you can have a quick look on it and can, if in case of any problem, you can contact me as well. Okay. So with this, we have came to the end of the session, and I would like to hand over the platform to the respective moderator so that it should get open for the question and answer round.
Thank you, sir, for such an enriching session. I would like to ask the participants if they have any questions, they can put on in the chat box. I think we have made everything crystal clear, and now no further questions are there. Thank you so much, sir, for your enriching knowledge. I hope we all would implement it in our near future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you, GLSR Journal, for calling me for this webinar. And Sai Vikrant, thank you so much for this, for giving me this opportunity. And for all the participants, I have shared my email ID with you, and I will share the PPT with the organization, with the organizers, and they will share the PPT with you. In case you face any problem, kindly reach out to me on my email ID and we'll get in touch with you. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.